Welcome to the True Brewer Stew podcast. Every other Sunday, we'll release an episode of the podcast featuring an interview with a business owner in the food industry, from restaurants to breweries to bakeries, and everything in between. We ask them about their journey and the process of becoming a successful business owner in hopes of helping others to do the same. I'm Mike Curtin, and the podcast starts now. Welcome to the True Brewer Stew podcast. My name is Mike Curtin. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so you never miss another episode of the podcast. Thank you for joining us for episode number 3 of True Brewer Stew. Today I sit down with owner Rocco Sacramone from Trattoria in Astoria, Queens. Rocco's been in business at this location for just over 20 years, so it was an honor to sit down with him and pick his brain about his success and his thoughts on the food industry. So without further ado, here's my interview with Rocco from Trattoria L'Incontro. I hope you enjoy it. I'm here with Rocco Sacramone from Trattoria L'Incontro in Astoria, New York. Rocco, thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
How are you?
So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the industry?
Okay, my family came into the States in 1970. I was about 11, going on 12, and I got my first job at a restaurant when I was 13 years old. I worked at a local restaurant called Rizzo's. Not Rizzo's Pizzas, but Rizzo's. It used to be on 21st Street and Broadway.
Okay.
So from that time on, it was carry on and on and on in the restaurant industry. And but for most part, I think I got the passion from my mom.
Okay.
So, and then, of course, this has been here 20 years now, L'Incontro. I had another place on 30th Avenue prior to this one here. So I started off with a pizzeria.
Wow.
And we went on and on and on.
So how old are you when you opened this spot?
This was about maybe my 40s, early 40s when I opened that stuff, but I was about 27 or 28, I think. 28, 29 actually, when I opened up the one on 30th Avenue, which was a pizzeria, then I made it into a pizzeria and a little restaurant.
Okay. So needless to say, you were in the industry since childhood.
Yes.
But so what made you feel like you could be an owner? Be a successful owner anyway.
Well, you know what? It's not only it's to be an owner, but it's a passion.
Right.
You know, this is I always say this is like a drug.
Right.
You know, so you got to be passionate about what you do, and you have to love what you do because you do spend a lot of time inside the restaurant industry.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of work, and being the chef and being the owner of the place, it makes it a little bit not harder. I don't mean that harder, but a little bit more work. You know, dealing with the suppliers. Right. Making sure the customers on the other side of it are happy, dealing with the staff. So there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with it.
And a lot of hours.
A lot of hours, yes.
So how do you, with all those hours that come into it, how do you make family and ownership work?
Well, you know what? In a way, being an owner, you have a little bit of an advantage that you could come and go anytime you want.
Right.
You know, like 3 o'clock comes, you know what, I pick up my daughter from school, you know, spend a little time with her, then she does what she's got to do. And you, like I said, it's a little flexible.
Right.
It's a little flexible, but the hours are still long.
Right, for sure. So, what was the morale, when you told people you were going to open up your own place, what was the morale of your friends and family?
I'll tell you a little story. Actually, when I opened up this place here, people thought I was crazy.
Okay.
When I was opening up here, because I had a small place on 30th Avenue, and they said, "Well, you're crazy. You live in here to go there. There's nothing there. There's nobody there." People thought I was completely nuts.
Right.
The only person that was really like very positive was my mom.
Okay.
You know, she always gave me always supported me and all that. You know, she was, "Oh no," because my mom was working with me also when I had the little place on 30th Avenue. So that was. And you know what? I opened up here, and the place was successful as soon as we opened. Not successful. I don't mean successful. It started getting busy.
Right.
You know, I'm not talking about it. It's not like what it is now because we only had that room on the side there, the main dining room. That's where we started.
Oh, okay.
This came after. Then the other room came after also. So
Gotcha.
This was the main dining room only.
Nice. So how did you go about finding capital?
Well, we in a way we lucked out. We had the place on 30th Avenue.
Okay.
So I sold that.
All right.
Right. And then here, with the money that we got from there, we opened up this place here. But when I started the pizzeria there, the capital I just got married at that time, actually. So we took all the wedding money, whatever thing we average up, boom, put it together, we did it.
That's a little wild.
Yeah.
Oh. What was one of the hardest adjustments you had to make in the industry when first opening this place?
Well, when I first opened up this year, I'll be honest with you, I came up from a small place.
Okay.
So when I came here, this was a monster compared to what the other place was.
Right.
It was easy. And I forget, my first Saturday I was here, oh my God, tickets were coming out and a kid, from and that time we didn't have a computer.
Right.
Everything was written down
Right.
and, oh man, we have flooded tickets in the back. And you know what it is? At the beginning, you are never staffed proper.
Right.
You are staffed, but you can always do better.
Right.
Because that you're kicking out your kicks and just to see which directions you're gonna go and which. But it was a wild. But after that, you start making adjustments.
Right. Of course.
And
then
the place grows. You need more people. Exactly.
Right.
So that's what we did.
So, what was something you never thought you were going to have to deal with in this industry?
Oh my God. A lot of stuff. Well, first of all, I don't know. You're a fireman, right?
Yes.
I never knew that I had to deal with the fire department. I had no idea that we deal with the fire department. That's one of them.
Safety issues.
Yeah, all the safety stuff.
Right.
But you know what? It's part of the industry. Not only this industry, it's part of safety.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. We get inspected, then the health department and building department. So you get, but a lot of things that. Okay, but I'm a chef.
Right.
I cook. Whatever. What does the fire department want? What does the building department want?
Right.
What is the But being an owner, you are responsible for all this stuff that gets thrown at you. So those are
not just one job.
It's not only one job.
It's a million jobs.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know what? Being a chef is probably one of the hardest jobs there is.
Right.
Right. But not because it's hard at what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything else you have to deal with it. I got to deal with the supplier. I got to deal. You have to deal with, not deal in a bad way with your staff. You got to communicate really well with your staff. Then I'm being the owner here, so I got to communicate with the dining room. You got to communicate with the management. You got to communicate with the host. So you communicate with everyone. Right.
Was there a defining moment for you that you knew this place was going to be successful?
Oh, absolutely. I just knew it.
What was that? Was it almost in the beginning, or
from the beginning? I just knew that the place was going to. Yes, absolutely. I was dealing with a small place. I had a small place on 30th Avenue.
Right.
So when I came here, I said, you know what? My rent was literally almost the same. Right. I said, you know what? Why is it what's gonna be different? Right. The only thing I'm not gonna have is like pizza by the slice. Right. But the everything else, the little restaurant over there was working, and now here I'm gonna have this space, right? Only the main dining room there. I'm gonna have that, and it's like, what can I work? So I was very optimistic about it. And in fact, you know what? From the first couple of weeks when we started doing this thing here, the first couple of weeks, business was like on and on and on and on, and it just got better and better and better. In fact, that's the reason why we opened up this side. We took over the other side also.
So there was something else here, and you just
this was a pet store. Yeah, this was a pet store. So we bought Vinny out. Vinny was the owner of the pet store.
What would you say was one of the biggest mistakes you made that you can use as a good experience, or a good learning experience?
You know what? I don't know if it's a big mistake, but you make mistakes as you grow. Right. You're always going to make mistakes because then,
something to learn from.
Yeah. Sure. A big mistake is probably that I did not buy a building in the last 15 years, that we did not buy a building in the area. Okay. To put the restaurant in. Right. Instead of paying rent and all that. But
what McDonald's
does. Yeah, but at the same time, right. But at the same time, it's like, it's not an easy task. You just don't go out and buy, a 5,000 square foot building.
Right, of course not.
For peanuts. Here in Astoria, 15 years ago was doable. Now, I don't know if you could. A building like this is probably worth about maybe $15 million. So
it's insane. Yeah, this area has.
That's the only thing I regret that I didn't do.
Up.
Mistake wise, but otherwise, in business wise, you make mistakes every day, right? But you don't make major mistakes that it's going, oh my God, it's life and death. It's a mistake. Anything can be fixed. Right. I always say every problem is a solution. No solution, no problem. So we fix the mistakes.
Did you ever hit a slump or anything like that, or where business slowed down and it was kind of like a panic, or was it over? always consistent business?
Well, for most part, it's consistent. You know, like you probably get into a panic your first year, your first couple of years,
Right.
because you do not know. But once you go over that hump,
Right.
then every year you look back and you say, you know what, all the numbers are exactly the same last year, so let's not worry about it. Let's not get scared about that, because last year we did the same thing and we went over that hump.
Right.
Is
it a seasonal
it's
thing?
It's a seasonal thing, probably. Like, look, when we shut down for vacation, when we come back, we shut down every year for the 4th of July weekend, the week after.
Okay.
So we come back, we'll reopen. You're not going to be busy.
Right.
So, and it's like, you cannot get into a panic mode, but
Right.
because that I've been here 20 years now, so we know that that's the down and then it goes up again. The month of August is a little quiet,
Right.
So you try to make adjustments as much as you can. And then September comes and we're kicking
for
again.
sure the holiday season.
Yeah, well,
around then it gets crazy in here.
That's
'Cause I was
little-
here a couple of times during the holidays.
Yeah,
and it's just absolutely.
It's nonstop.
It's mayhem.
Between Christmas, the Christmas season is like just
Yes, insane.
awesome. Yeah.
What are your strategies for marketing?
Well, now we do. I still believe a lot of it is word of mouth. But in today's world, you got to be exposed with the internet. You got to be exposed
sure.
with social media.
Right.
That's the marketing strategy that you have.
Okay.
You got to get a media company and throw your name out there between Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media that goes on.
I mean, speaking of social media, did you ever have to deal with any negative reviews, Yelpers, all that
Yes,
stuff?
yes,
And
yes,
how do
of
you,
course.
How do you go about dealing
I
with
mean,
that?
we are very blessed
Right.
that we get, for most part, it's very positive,
Positive,
the reviews.
yes.
But we answer back every single review, whether it's
Okay.
negative or positive.
Right.
I answer them back personally.
Awesome.
So and if there's something that it's really, really bad, you try to fix, you apologize, to the person. There's, try to make it up with them.
But so much you could do.
There's only so much
Right.
you could do. Yeah. If you're gonna have a bad night, if you had a bad night that night, the only thing we can do is apologize. You apologize, and hopefully, if you come back, I can make it better for you.
Right.
But look, social media is a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It for most part, but you're gonna get you're not gonna get your positive all the time. You're gonna have It's very difficult. At the end of the day, for example, if you end up doing 300 or 400 people on a Saturday,
right.
2 people gonna have, maybe you might have 2-3 customers that have a negative review. Look, at the end of the day, I think you did a great job because you satisfied, 90% of the people.
Right.
You're never gonna make everybody happy. Even though you're gonna drive, that's my drive to satisfy everybody, to make sure that everybody gets out of here with a smile on their face, with the belly, a nice smile face on the belly. That's what you want.
Right.
But at the same time, it's very difficult to come, to make everybody happy also.
How important is ambiance to you?
It's important.
Right.
It's very important. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to have dinner under the Sistine Chapel. What I mean? It's like to create a beautiful atmosphere. It's nice. But I think what makes the atmosphere is from the minute you come in. In Italian, we have l'accoglienza, the welcoming.
Right.
Okay, welcoming is the most important part in this industry. When you come in and you have the hostess, the manager in the front, and you are welcomed in a certain way. You sit down, and the waiters are they have their own expertise when they come in. That's all part of the atmosphere and the ambiance.
I couldn't agree more.
That's what makes everything. I never forget. We used to go to a steakhouse in the late 70s, early 80s.
Right.
It was called Frank's. Sawdust on the floor.
Right.
Ambiance, what ambiance? The steak was amazing.
Yeah,
though,
right.
So they're no longer there, but that was the ambiance.
Right.
So
I know in this area, especially you have Tavernas right down the block, and you have a lot of great restaurants. There's a lot that open. There's also a lot that close. How do you stay a step ahead of?
Well, you don't try to stay a step ahead. You're going to do your own thing.
Right.
Okay, this is an Italian restaurant. So
Right.
this is what we do. And then we have a lot. Let me tell you, Ditmars is absolutely amazing. With all the restaurants that are opening up there, There's got to be I would say there's about 40 restaurants between 29th Street and 35th Street.
Right.
Like, that little stretch.
Yeah, sure.
When I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody's doing, and there's a lot of different ethnic restaurants,
Right,
which is
for
great.
sure.
I mean, from
I
the
think I
Australian.
probably added every single one.
Yeah. So, but you always like I said, my thing is to put a fresh product on the plate,
Right.
a seasonal, go seasonal, but whatever the season gives us, that's what we try to plate,
Right.
and give people amazing service.
Right.
That's after that, there's nothing else. There's nothing else you could do.
Of course. Well, you seem to be very big on food. I mean, the food's amazing here. You say seasonal, fresh. Are you constantly looking for new distributors, or you work with somebody that you know is going to give you the best?
Yes,
or?
I work with a couple of unfortunately, you cannot work only with one person here,
Right.
with one provider. So we have about 3 or 4, 5 or 6 different
Okay.
ones who specializes one thing, who specializes something else. So, and you try to get that specialty item from
Right.
different people. Like for example, now we have the summer truffle. We just got over with the ramps, with the white asparagus.
Right.
So these are all the summer porcini mushroom that they just ended. So anything that was in the season, you
Right.
try to work with all these fruits, and it's like sometimes Joe doesn't have it, so you get it from Frank. So
Right.
Frank and on and on and on.
Nice. So, what are the major changes that you've noticed in the last 5 years in the industry? What was one of the biggest changes you've experienced?
Well, we had, for example, with the health departments, we had the grades
Right.
that came in. I thought it was a pretty good idea to
Right.
do it. It keeps the restaurants up on track.
Right.
To make sure that you try to stay neat and clean. That's one of the ones on the industry that did. I thought it was a good idea to do that. And then that's one of the ones
Right.
that I think was a great idea. That's one of the changes. But as far as everything else, then with the minimum wages
Right.
going up, and so the minimum wage is a great thing.
Right.
Everybody should get paid well.
Right.
Okay. The only thing, you cannot go too fast
Right.
on it. You gotta, but otherwise
You work your way up.
you work your way up
the
on the ladder, right?
Right.
So, but otherwise, I didn't see too much of it in the last 5 years.
Right. You talk about minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a stressful thing to know that you're people's livelihoods?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's stressful because maybe it's because we've been in the business for too long, and it's
Right.
like I have guys that work maybe for 20 years here.
Right.
So it's like I just make sure that these guys are happy.
Right.
That's the bottom line. It's like, and then if there's a discrepancy over, oh, you know what, I need a little bit more money. No problem. We sit down, we talk, we sit down and we negotiate it, and you do what you got to do to make it work. So we have guys here. Like I said, my kitchen, I think the minimum. There's a young kid now that has been with me for about 3 years, but everybody else on the line has been 15 years or more.
Wow.
So
That's pretty
and
impressive.
guys that do the prep downstairs is the same. So we have it's a solid staff.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody's staying here for that long, they gotta be pretty happy.
Yeah.
Stick around. I know that's
Yeah,
any job.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. You got to make sure that the people are happy. And if you see some discontent in
Right.
someone, you approach them and say,
Yeah.
"What's the matter? You're right. You got family problems. You got to, oh no, whatever the problem. Okay, you sit down and you talk about it."
How important is it for you to take a mental break from everything? Whether it's vacation or
Yeah. You know what? I'm happy with whatever vacation I can get.
Right.
I get.
Okay.
But to me, it's not. I don't need a mental break. I really don't. It's like I love what I do.
Right.
When I'm here, this is what I like to do. And the
Amazing.
level of stress could be to 100,
Right.
or it could be to 1.
Right.
But you know what? It doesn't matter what the stress level is. You know, I always say I don't stress out.
Right.
You know, because when you work, you're not supposed to be stressed. You got to do what you got to do. You got to make you got to make it work. Yeah,
Right.
when you know what you do, you don't stress.
Right.
You know, you make things work. Like on a Saturday night, it's crazy here. Like sometimes you might get into an argument or a little word extra, whether it's a manager, it's a hostess, one of the waiters. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all ironed out.
Right.
You know, when you go home, I make sure that the people are going to go home. You don't have to worry about the problem that you had like 20 minutes ago here.
Right.
You know, let's not take that problem home. You iron it,
Suss it out right
and
now.
you're done, and then
Right.
and then everybody goes home happy. You know.
Gotcha. So what's the best piece of advice you would give to somebody looking to open their own place?
What did I say to you off camera? Don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
The first advice is make sure your funds are in order.
Right.
If it's going to be a brand new place from scratch, make sure you get a great contractor, a good architect, an attorney, and start from there. That's only your foundation to start. Then everything
Good
else.
to know.
Yeah, that's. But then look, if once you start building the place, you start seeing things come together.
Right.
It's awesome.
Right.
Then getting staff, getting great staff is not easy.
Good help's hard to find.
It's hard to find. But that's why once you have great,
Right.
you got to keep it.
For sure.
So
And
that's
keep-
why
and
I
keep
always
'em happy.
And keep them happy. That's the bottom line.
Gotcha. So do you have a funny story you could tell us about your time in the industry?
Well, I don't know. Where do I start?
Yeah. It's all just been one big comedy?
Well, every day there's something going on anyway.
Right.
Every day. Let's see. I don't know which one do I want to do. We had a. No, I should tell that one. Ask me another question. I'll be thinking about that one there.
Well, that's pretty much my last question for you. So, I mean, if you want to take your time with it, I mean, that's...
But there's so many of them. Like it's like right now it's like I'm all bubbled up.
Of course.
But it's also like, look, you have fun here every day,
Right.
right? When you come to work here, you meet because I come out of the kitchen all the time.
Right.
At nighttime I'm in the dining room, so you get to meet people, celebrities, local people.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is, So I'm always constantly talking with people. But I'll tell you a funny story with my mom, because my mom works here with me. So the first time I made an egg ravioli. So my mother, she comes upstairs. I say, "Mom, I want to make you taste something." And she said, "What is that?" I said, "It's an egg in a ravioli." She said, "Are you nuts?" I says, "Why? You're going to try it." No. Eggs, you only make it boiled or you only make it fried in the frying pan, not inside a ravioli. I says, "Ma, you got to try." "I don't want it." And my mom is real tough.
Right.
I says, "Mom, you got to try this." So she said, "Well, fangulu, you and your egg ravioli." Yeah, so that's like, when my mom is here,
Yes.
like, we always, we not bump heads, we always like,
Right.
yeah, I love it when, she comes in 3 days a week, so always have fun stories with her.
Right. Well, Rocco, thank you very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so that was the interview. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Special thanks again to Rocco Sacramone from Trattoria L'Incontro in Astoria, Queens. If you're looking for amazing Italian food, this is definitely the spot to go. Every other Sunday, I'll be releasing an episode of the podcast, so stay tuned. And like I said, subscribe and you'll never miss another episode of the podcast. Once again, I'm Mike Curtin for True Brewer Stew. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.